What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day, the Splitgate team went ahead and dropped a brand new event within Splitgate 2, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I am pleasantly surprised. Now, of course, it's not the biggest thing in the universe, obviously, but I do believe after putting in some playtime and seeing what this event is all about, I believe that the potential of this event is absolutely massive, and if they can keep this same mentality moving forward, they can expand upon this idea. And boy, oh boy, the core foundation of what Splitgate is all about will be just transformed. And honestly, I'm hoping that the developers are planning on doing more of these things moving forward into the future. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget subscribing to that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. Splitgate, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Arc Raiders. You best believe we cover each and every one of these. So if you guys are interested, like I said, subscribing at that bell. And last but not least, we do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch. And also this Sunday, we are going to be streaming as well on a oddball day. So if you guys are interested, you want to chat it up with me or even hop into the open lobbies, you can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been lurking around the event tab on Splitgate 2, you more than likely saw the Showdown event, which went live the other day. Now, clearly we did have another event, the, beginning event, the celebration event that was in Splitgate 2. But I would consider the Showdown event the very first massive event that we have gotten within this game. And like I said, the potential of this event is absolutely huge. Now, to go ahead and begin, I'll read off the rules and regulations of this specific, tournament here. I guess you can call it a tournament. Join a team, get kills to earn points, and unlock rewards for everyone who participates. Each team has 4 themed rewards: a sidearm, a charm, a banner, and a spray. All 4 of the winning team's cosmetic items will be granted to all who participate. The team who gets second place will have 3 of its rewards granted. The third place team will have 2 of its rewards granted. So no matter what team wins, everyone who plays gets 9 rewards. First place team equals 4 items rewarded to all participants. Second place team equals 3 items rewarded to all participants. And third place gets 2 items rewarded to all participants. Team selection is final. You cannot switch teams. Each team also has a bundle with an additional character skin and weapon skin that you can buy in the store. The Showdown runs from June 13th to June 23rd. Now, I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm not exactly too positive on what they mean by saying, so no matter what team wins, everyone who plays gets 9 rewards, because right afterwards, like I stated, they said first place gets all 4 rewards, second place gets 3, and third place gets 2, and there's only 4 rewards on the actual, teams themselves, so I don't know how they would necessarily get 9. Of course, if anybody knows, please, fill me in on these details down in the comment section. But again, I'll go ahead and showcase to you guys each and every one of these rewards. This one right here, I believe, is for the Arrows faction. Get a pistol again, sticker, background, so on and so forth. The second one here is for the Sabrask faction. And the last one here is for the Meridian faction. And again, for anybody that's curious, each and every faction has, designated content creators like Shroud or Tim the Tatman, Nadeshot, so on and so forth. But I'll be honest with you guys, I could give 2 craps on, what creators are on what teams, because more than likely it's not going to really sway the tides that much, because at the end of the day, it's a group challenge. It's for everybody out there to, partake in. And again, each team gets 1 point added on for every kill that you earn on that team. So at the end of the day, at least for me, I don't really care about the content creators, you know what I'm saying? I only care about the rewards that we earn from completing all of these challenges here. And again, I think the OG rewards are just absolutely beautiful. I love Sabrask. I love the skin for the pistol. And honestly, I think that's just the way to go for me personally. But again, let me know what you guys choose down in the comment section below. So basically, at the end of the day, this is indeed a tournament. It's team v team v team. Think of 8v8v8 onslaught, but against, all of our fellow Splitgate fans. And again, once you choose the team, you cannot switch. So keep that in mind. Whichever team you pick, you're not going to be able to rotate out. So choose wisely. But I do want to showcase to you guys one last thing before we, hop into the very juicy details and all the potential that I see in this event. I want to showcase to you guys the actual score of each team right here, right now, because it's very impressive, and you got to keep in mind, 1 kill equals 1 point. The aim gods are at over 1 million points, OG closing in on 1 million points, and D-Gens at around, close to 600,000 points. That is absolutely mental. And these numbers have been captured at around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's around about, I would say, 6.5 hours after the launch of this overall event before everybody's getting home from work and, winding down a bit. I can only imagine what these numbers are going to look like today. And of course, leave it down in the comment section on what these numbers are sitting at now. And also by the end of this weekend, That's a lot, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we're closing in on 3 million plus kills across the board. Trust me, a dead game would not be able to obtain those numbers very easily. In my personal opinion, that is pretty dang impressive. And it's good to see that, Splitgate is doing pretty darn good. And it seems like a lot of people are hopping up into this experience. But with that being said, let's dive deeper into why I think this event is so freaking awesome. Again, not really the craziest of events, right? It's not like it's stupidly massive and this is probably going to bring in a ridiculous amount of players. It's a pretty simple, beginning concept, and I didn't really expect anything more than this as their very first event. They're still trying to go ahead and polish off the game, polish off the stutters. There's a lot of issues going on within Splitgate 2 that need to be worked on, and they're not the biggest team out there. I think people always forget about that. People are so used to these development teams having thousands and thousands of devs, where this team does not have that manpower. And it's weird because the game looks like it does. It's very polished. It looks beautiful. The gameplay is extraordinarily smooth. So people think it's thousands of people behind it. No, it's not. So you got to give them some time. You got to let them cook. As I was saying, not a bad first event. But it does showcase exactly what I am expecting, and I think a lot of people are kind of expecting out of the future of Splitgate 2. Guys, don't forget that Splitgate 2 is revolved around basically like a game show. Think of the finals, for example. That's kind of the reality that we're in when it comes to Splitgate 2. Obviously, it's different in its own ways, but I think that expanding upon the concept of this event would be absolutely huge. Imagine getting, quote-unquote sponsorships. You don't have to be identical to what the finals is all about, but it would fit into the atmosphere of Splitgate so well if it could go beyond the events, right? Not just having events every now and then that kind of separates the community into their specific, tournament-style classes, but also just the game itself. Now, again, I'm not expecting this right away, clearly, right? This is all work in progress. But as I stated, imagine a year down the road if they can go ahead and do something similar to the sponsorships, where everybody has their own type of, tournament brackets that they can progress through that gives them, content that's exclusive for those exact factions. That would be so freaking awesome. Amazing. And even, to the point of having competitions like we have right here, where all these factions, people who are choosing which faction they want to play for, have to compete for overall prizes. And I know people are like, oh, well, I'm not going to get all the content within this event because, again, if you remember, they say that first place gets all the rewards, second place gets, 3 of the rewards, third place gets 2 of the rewards. But I think that is I think that's cool. I gotta be honest. I know it's going to be unpopular, but I think that's cool because it adds a competitive edge and it makes people actually want to grind, compete, and put forth effort into, once again, this style of game show. And let's be real here, ladies and gentlemen. What game show do you know of where there's no competition, where it's just stupidly casual? I don't know of many. Game shows are fun because of the competition, because of the rivalries that you have with your opponents or even friends. That's what makes it exciting. And as I stated, I know some people might be a little salty about not getting all of the rewards. But the way that I look at it, not all the rewards are really worth it. I think the pistol skin is probably the best, and I'm sure that you'll be able to pick and choose which ones you want, depending on, how high you place in the tournament. But as I stated, that's what makes it fun. That is exactly what makes it fun. But back to the main topic. If they can go ahead and incorporate this into the base Splitgate 2 experience, my God, the future would just be absolutely insane. That would add so much extra additional progression, right? I know a lot of people are talking about wanting player level, which I personally want as well because I love to, showcase how long I've been around and playing the game and enjoying the game. But at the same time, having a sponsorship progression for the game shows that we're playing on here would go so unbelievably hard. And it would give, casuals extra incentives to hop into the experience and just simply play. Because a lot of the time, going for levels isn't really that rewarding to some. But going for prizes that are exclusive to the faction that you're playing for, but it's, a grind throughout these sponsors, to me personally, would really add that extra oomph, that extra push to get people to really dive deep into Splitgate 2. And as I stated before, if they can also incorporate, competitions between the factions to add exclusive prizes for, people who might come out on top, would add even more variety and excitement into the game. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas and concepts, but I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this down below. Overall, I just want to share with you all that we have a brand new event within Splitgate 2. I think it's absolutely awesome, really fun concept, and I hope that they really do expand on this concept, and it's not just something that they're throwing out there as an event, because as the very first event, I think they really nailed a cool idea. And again, years down the road, this could really basically expand into something so much bigger. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post here daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And of course, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday. And also, we will be streaming this Sunday, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, go link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all next one. Peace out.